it's Wildman Rouse here, and I've just celebrated my 60th birthday. That's meant to be my fanfare. That and the fact that I've been a bit sick for 3 weeks means I haven't done any videos, but trust me, today I've recorded many for you coming in the next few weeks, starting with today on my continued thoughts on my Sony A1 Mk2 that I've just used for 3 solid weeks in Africa, so keep watching. So I took my 2 A1 Mk2s to Africa and gave them a really hard test, and they came out with absolutely shining colours. Now, as I said in the last video, it's not about the image quality and stuff like that. That's all the same as the A1, which is great for me, okay? At last, DxO has announced the support for the A1 Mk2, so I can actually noise reduce really high ISO files, which has been great, because before that, I've been using Photoshop Enhanced, and it's not as good as DxO, I have to say. So it's been really interesting to look at what the performance improvements have been for me in my workflow, and workflow I define from picking up the camera to sending out the process picture to Instagoggle or whatever I use. It's been interesting to look at what the benefits are, and you'd be surprised what I found. The biggest surprise I have is that I'm hardly using pre-capture. Now, when I was shooting with the OM system, I used Pro Capture, similar thing, all of the time. But pre-capture with the Sony, whilst it's really well implemented, I'm finding out that the autofocus now with the Mark II is so sticky that I don't need to rely on pre-capture tracking something across the frame. In fact, I find it much better for me to track the bird myself using AF across the frame. I might miss that initial takeoff, let's say, that millisecond, but I get far more pictures because when a bird takes off, the first few wing beats are rubbish, okay, until it locks out and gets going, all right? They're rubbish. You don't want them. By that time, it's gone out of the frame and your pre-capture session has gone. So I'm finding it's much better to track it across the frame using the AF and the new bird detect and the AF sensitivity, la-di-da-di-da. I'm finding it a lot better. You see here this picture on the screen. It's a power chanting goshawk, beautifully backlit, and I got the whole sequence of it going across. I'm not going to show you them because this is the only one I kept. I only keep one of the sequence that I really like, but the wings out, I wouldn't have probably got that at pre-capture because it would have been too late in the frame maybe. So I'm finding that I'm not using pre-capture as much as I thought. Now, I may use it when I do hummingbirds and faster species like that. And particularly if you've got something like a dog or a lynx or something jumping across a river or something, you might find that quite useful. But still, I'm finding that the tracking is so good that I don't need to use pre-capture. And that is a big shock to me. Now, I did mention the AF. The AF has been really, really fantastic. I mean, for normal photography, and that means, you know, normal out of a safari vehicle, normal angle, it nails the eye 100% of the time and locks onto it, bird or animal. It does really good. I've tested the bird and animal setting, and that works, I would say, 99% as well as the individual settings. I haven't tested auto, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to test auto because wildlife encounters are one-off, and I don't want to miss my one-off wildlife encounter because I really need it, okay? I'm professional. I can't afford to miss shots because it means I miss my livelihood. But the autofocus has been great. Now, the one area it's not so good is backlight. We all know that. So backlight, I switch it off. I have it on a custom button and I switch it off, the subject detect. Okay, so it's gone, gone, gone. Subject recognition, whatever you call it on these cameras. It's got different names on every single camera. But I switch it off, okay, in backlit situations. And that way we just use the contrast AF and it works absolutely brilliantly. Now, one feature I have been using more and more is speed boost. I have my motor drive set to 5 frames a second, all right, because I don't want to blast, blast, blast. I'm not a blaster. I don't rely on taking a lot of pictures to get the one. I'd rather take it myself and rely on my timing and my experience. But there are times, maybe when you're doing your pre-captures or something action, where you want to get your 20 or 30 frames a second very, very quickly. So again, I've got speed boost set on a button so I can fire along normally at 5 frames a second, press a speed boost, and it's a select on and off, which is really good. You don't have to hold it like you do with a lot of Sony functions, which I don't like. You can press it, hold it on, and it will continue on until you turn it off. I'm finding it so useful to have it on a quick button. It really is a really, really brilliant feature. And to be honest, that's all I'm going to say about this camera. You know, I've shot an awful lot of low angle pictures, some of which you're seeing on the screen, through grass, through very difficult conditions, and the AF holds the lock on the eye, even through grass. Sometimes I have to lift the camera up to get the lock onto the eye and then pull it down again, and it will hold that lock even as the subject walks through the grass. I found it really, really fantastic, and it's allowed me to take some really, really cracking pictures, I have to say. So for me, the Sony A1 Mk2 is absolutely delivering everything it can. I can't wait. I'm about to go in the next week to do mountain gorillas in Rwanda. It'll be my 60th trek, my 60th birthday year, and I can't wait to see what that eye control, the subject recognition is. I always get confused. Eye control, subject detect, subject recognition. What the subject recognition is going to be like on the gorillas. It's going to be mega. So anyway, that's my very, very quick update. I'm really pleased with it. It's allowed me to nail some pictures that I probably wouldn't have done in the past, and that's all I can say as a pro. It's a really good tool. And that's about it. So if you've got any questions, feel free to stick them below. It's nice, short and sharp, this one, because I wanted to get back into the fold of doing some YouTube videos after my birthday and my sickness, and there's many more to come. All right, enjoy. Bye, bye, bye.